When life feels unfair, remember this: time will heal everything. An inspiring story. Life doesn't always play fair. Sometimes it breaks your heart, takes away people you love, or shatters dreams you've worked years to build. In those moments, it's easy to feel lost, as if the world has turned its back on you. But sometimes, what feels like the end is just the beginning of something deeper, wiser, and more beautiful. Let me tell you the story of Emily, a young woman who learned this truth the hardest way possible. Emily was full of dreams. She wanted to be an artist, to paint stories that touched people's hearts. She believed that with enough passion, she could overcome anything. But life had other plans. When she was 22, her father passed away suddenly. He had always been her biggest supporter, the one who proudly displayed her paintings around the house. His loss left a hole in her heart that no words could fill. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Yet the pain refused to fade. She stopped painting, stopped dreaming, stopped believing that life was good. Everywhere she looked, people seemed happy, couples laughing in the park, friends chasing their dreams. And she wondered, why not me? Why does life have to be so unfair? One day, Emily's mother handed her an old, dusty journal. "Your father wanted you to have this," she said softly. Inside, Emily found sketches of her childhood, poems her father had written about her, and one note that simply read, "When life feels unfair, don't run from it. Pain has a way of shaping you into who you were meant to be. One day, you'll understand." Those words echoed in her mind. For the first time in months, she picked up her paintbrush. The first strokes were shaky, unsure, but as she painted, something shifted inside her. Each color carried a memory, each brush stroke a tear, a piece of her healing heart. She began painting every day again, not for fame, not for success, but for peace. Over time, her pain transformed into beauty. Her art began to reflect not just sorrow, but strength, the quiet kind that comes from surviving something that once seemed impossible. Years later, Emily held her first solo exhibition. People from all walks of life came. Some cried, others smiled, but everyone felt something deep. A woman approached her with tears in her eyes and said, "Your paintings healed something in me." That night, as Emily looked at her father's picture by the window, she whispered, "You were right, Dad. Time really does heal everything." Life can be cruel, unpredictable, and painfully unfair. But what Emily discovered is something we all need to remember. Time is the quiet healer. When you're in the middle of pain, it's hard to see beyond the storm. It feels endless, like you'll never feel whole again. But every sunrise, every breath, every small act of courage brings a little bit of healing, even when you don't notice it. One day, the tears will dry a little faster. The weight on your chest will feel a little lighter, and you'll realize that you survived something you once thought would break you. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means finding strength in your scars, wisdom in your pain, and hope in your heart again. Sometimes the most beautiful chapters of your life begin with the pages you once wished you could tear out. So if you're reading this and life feels unfair right now, breathe. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every delay has meaning. Time may not erase your pain completely, but it will transform it. One day, you'll look back and realize that the very thing that broke you was the reason you grew. When life feels unfair, remember Emily's story. And remember this truth. Time doesn't just heal everything. It reveals everything. It shows you who you truly are, and what your heart is capable of enduring. Hold on. Keep breathing. Keep walking. Healing takes time. But time will heal. And one day you'll wake up, look at the sunrise, and realize you made it through the storm stronger than ever before.